Welcome to Washington Central Podcast. I am Saurabh Shukla. In a major change to the immigration policy, which will impact largely students, the US has announced that the duration of status, which meant that when a student applied for a visa, especially in the F1 category for undergraduate students and students who are doing masters here and PhDs here in the US, you would get a duration of status. That means that uh, your passport will, when you enter the US, the CBP officer, which is the immigration officer here in the US, would stamp a duration of status, which was largely at the end of your course and which every time you entered, that was extended. Now, there will be a rigid system in place from the 15th of September. That would mean that there will be only a 4 year stamping. So, which obviously will be a big impact for students hoping to study here in the US, because just in case you miss out on a semester, or obviously your studies get delayed for some reasons, there are repercussions that are going to happen. That will also mean that you will have to seek more permissions. Earlier, your university could had a flexibility to make changes in your service, which was a student record that they maintained along with USCIS, but now things will change. Certainly, so that's something uh, is a bad news for students who are coming to the US. Certainly, students who are there will also need extra permissions when they change to OPT, and also, if you are changing to any other courses, that will also be restricted. So a lot of students, they change their courses midway. That gets impacted by this rule as well. Clearly, that will also mean that students who were attracted to some of the best US educational institutions, that may get impacted because of this. But certainly, the Trump administration has taken this position, given the backlash that they've had from their own supporters in curbing immigration. But this also means that while they are doing or taking measures to stem illegal immigration, the legal immigration is also getting impacted by these rules. Uh, how does this impact you? If you're a student, you're watching this or hearing me, you have to get in touch with your university. A lot of universities have already issued advisories on to make sure that you are on the clear, because any uh, case where you're out of your status will not only impact adversary your stay within the United States, but also if you're applying for postgraduate studies at a job later, that impacts that as well. So make sure that before you set out, you get those, I would say the immigration checklist ahead of time. I've been getting a lot of questions from students who are not getting visa appointments. And obviously, they have their sessions starting in 2026, the fall of 2026. My advice is that make sure that you speak to your university. Also, if you can defer, go for a deferral, because then you have a clarity of where this lies, because obviously there will be greater clarity on the policy, because obviously the universities are also going to petition the Trump administration, because this will also mean that other countries like UK, Canada, Australia, and even European countries, they become more attractive for a lot of international students, and a lot of U.S. universities rely on international students for a large part of their funding. So clearly, this will be a setback in some ways for the US as well, because for years, US attracted the best and the brightest. And they had some of these best graduates or best undergraduates coming to their universities, studying here, enjoying, I would say, the best of US education system, because obviously this has an edge. So it remains to be seen how that gets impacted by this rule. Also, I would say in this entire rule, the impact will also be on PhD students, researchers, the graduate students who were part of this and will be part of this 4 year, I would say, this entire program that is being talked about from September 15, the changes that will come in. The other changes also will impact foreign journalists who were on an I visa. They earlier used to get 5-year visas, and that was renewed provided you were working for a foreign outlet. That is also getting curbed to 240 days now. Clearly, while the US says that this has been done to make sure that the security precautions are taken, because often they felt that there are too many people coming and using this visa to be here. But certainly the media groups here have a different view. They have obviously come out with statements against it. So it remains to be seen how will Trump administration handle it. But for now, this is the big news coming in. And wherever you're watching me, whether in the US or outside, whether you're a student, researcher, also, I have to mention the J1 visa, which was meant for researchers, that gets impacted by this new US CIS rule as well. And also, this would also mean that the automatic extension, so anything that you're doing now comes under a more stricter purview. With the USCIS asking you to submit applications. So certainly you have to bear that in mind if you are planning to study in the US, planning to start your 4-year course. Make sure that you are planning either to complete it within 3.5 years, within that particular window, because the window really shrinks, and only fewer legal immigration routes are also now available. In the other related development, even for green cards now, the Trump administration is now proposing that there will be 100,000 USD, sort of a bond kind of a thing. They want to make sure that any legal immigration which happens in the US is only there for certain categories. They don't want anybody to take up this green card and be on a public charge. Public charge means that you are on either a Medicaid or a government dole or a social security benefit. Obviously, that's something that they want to kind of make it exclusively for US citizens. And that's the reason why this 100,000 USD new levy that is being proposed would mean that if you're applying for a green card, you will have to pay 100,000, which is like a bond, which is in some ways akin to 100,000 you had to pay for a H-1B. There will be greater clarity coming up, but certainly the Trump administration is ensuring that even legal immigration gets much tighter here in the US. So clearly, before you set out, talk to your immigration attorney and make sure that you're on the right side, because a lot of rules are changing and it's a rapidly evolving situation. Shifting focus to Iran now. The situation continues to be tense. I would say that the blockade continues to be on, that the US has imposed, even though the talks are going on through back channels, but the situation continues to be grim. I've been saying that this is something which has been a roller coaster ride, in any case, between with the Iran war, not seeing any signs of ebbing now with the current round of escalation. My sense is that this would also mean that the aftershocks on global economy, global energy prices, that will continue to happen, because I don't see an immediate resolution of this, and it will be on a slow pace. US will continue to mount attacks on Iranian targets. Iran obviously continues to target some of the Gulf states. So that's a difficult situation, and we have to brace up for a world of uncertainty, and the fact that situation will continue to simmer like this. On another big piece of news that hogged the headlines, President Trump's big primetime address. Many were expecting that this will address something on Iran, but certainly, as reports came out that he squarely blamed China, and obviously FBI and Department of Justice will now probe it, of interfering in U.S. elections and The claims are that almost more than 200,000 illegal voters were there. China was supplying not only fake IDs, but there was a concerted campaign by China to interfere in the US elections. While the premise may not be untrue, because obviously China is known to have its cyber campaigns against adversaries like the US, clearly to whether it's foment tensions through social media, but with the admission or direct claim made by the US president, this is a very serious matter and has to be probed. Obviously, this has a domestic repercussion as well, because obviously it has a political connect with the Democrats and Republicans. Loggerhead does that because they believe that no interference were there, and obviously the U.S. Electors elected President Joe Biden in 2020 and President Trump uh, in the elections, which happened in 2024. But will also bring to the fore, I would say, further geopolitical tensions between US and China. Because with these admissions, there will be further clampdown on the Chinese activities here in the US and also beyond. US is also closely in touch with its Five Eyes partners to make sure that they take a joint, measure to curb the Chinese uh, cyber activities, whether it's impacting the US government infrastructure, the public infrastructure, and there will be greater scrutiny. That would also mean that other allies of the US will also clamp down on the Chinese, uh, I would say, espionage and other activities that are impacting them. Many countries across the globe have been saying that, and this announcement by the US president is very serious. And this will impact, as I said earlier, not only geopolitics, but will have a lasting impact on the relationship between the two countries. It remains to be seen a likely visit in September by the Chinese President Xi Jinping, whether it will go through or not, or whether it will be impacted by this. Well, this was I would say the big construct on the biggest news and developments of this week on Washington Central. Wherever you are following us or watching us, do press that follow button, and also share the podcast, because sharing this also means that the correct and verified information goes to uh, many more viewers and listeners, because that's what is our aim is at Washington Central. Thanks for watching and listening to this podcast.